And it is 5 o'clock. Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. I'll call this regular town board meeting to order. Roll call: Mike Anderson. Here. Amy Baxter.
Here.
Susan Brenna.
Here.
Samantha Dodson.
Here.
And Lonnie Robson here. Also have our town administrator and our town clerk with us and our public works director. First item on the agenda, public comment. Do we have any public comment? Paul?
I would like to remind the town board that when it comes to agenda item 6D1, the change zoning district boundaries, there's a whole section in the zoning ordinance concerning the changing of boundaries, including but not limited to notification of neighbors within 300 feet of holding a public hearing, not to mention the payment of an application fee. Just reminding you, you can't change zoning tonight on the single vote.
Thank you, Paul, and we do not intend to do that. This is part of the process, however. Okay, any other?
Now, we can only try going from 5 to 7 minutes on a vote. That one.
Okay, any other public comment? All right, next item on the agenda, open bids, ESB tree removal. We have a bid from Greg Nelson. My proposal to remove the 15 marked trees and dispose of them by July 1st is $7,300. I saw at least 4 other dead standing trees that weren't marked. There would be additional charges if you'd like those. Also, my certificates of insurance are on file at the town hall. That one is from North Farm and Land. Randolph, Wisconsin. Their proposal is to drop and remove 15 marked trees outside the emergency service building. Cut logs to approximately 8 to 10 foot long stack at industrial lots for persons interested in firewood, haul brush away and dispose of at our location. And rake driveway and mobilizing and ferry cost included, $2,900. And their insurance is attached. Next is Bruce's Tree Service.
Wait, stop. The second one was from Marengo.
Yeah.
And it was $2,000.
$2,900.
Okay.
This is from Bruce's Tree Service, Bruce Glau, Town of La Pointe. We would like to submit our bid for the request for proposal for dropping and removing of the 15 trees. We would complete the job before June of 2024 and do a full cleanup and disposal of all logs and brush from the trees while leaving the property free of ruts and damage. Please see attached photo of insurance. Our cost to do this project to the town of La Pointe would be in total $3,300. And the final bid we've received is from Quality Tree Service. And they are of Washburn. Remove 15 trees at the emergency services building, chip up wood and debris, clean up logs and haul away to designated spot for Ben Schramm. The town will be responsible for ferry charges for crew and equipment. If I can add on work with other clients, charges would be divided by other clients. $7,900.
North Farm and Land said the ferry was included in the 2001, right? Yeah, okay.
And this one.
So, okay.
Okay, those are the 4 bids. Turn those over to the town administration for their assessment. Next item on the agenda, administrative reports, town administrators report. Any questions or comments from Mike? Okay, Moving on, Public Works Director's report. Mr. Dunn. Supervisor's report. Okay. Manager's report. Planning and Zoning Administrator's report. Working report. Police Chief's report.
I would ask Michael to ask Bill. He said in his report, it says Tom and Carl are certified intox. So he's not, I take it, Bill's not.
I don't know that answer. I will invest.
And then I would just like, you know, I mean, you don't know when somebody's gonna be busted for. Right. I'm just kind of wondering why are two people and not all three, or vice versa, or. I mean, there must be a reason for it, if that's accurate.
Mike, any other questions or comments on the Police Chief's report? Fire Chief's report. With Susan. Okay. Will you follow up with him? Thank you. Ambulance Director's report.
I would just like to say that last paragraph about the the patient who donated to help. I appreciate that.
Yes, very much. Okay, is there unanimous consent to place these reports on file?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Moving on, Public Works, Roads, Dock and Harbor. We have a purchase order for some calcium chloride in the amount of $31,980. Is there a motion to approve?
I would make a motion to approve the cost of $31,980 for the best abatement of 2024 chemical industries of Alberta.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to Parks. We have a purchase order for Big Bay Town Park Boardwalk repairs for $1,586 with Washburn Building Products. Is there a motion to approve?
I will make a motion to approve the Big Bay Town Park Boardwalk repairs in the amount of $1,586 for Washburn Building Products.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, materials recovery facility. We have another proposal from Harmony Towers. This one is proposing a one-time payment of $175,410. You have a memo in your materials that discusses some of the issues that this presents. And I think the real question for us now is the town board at all interested in this? And if we are, we probably would need to have a closed session to talk more about the details and what we want the administration to do. But I think we did the 99-year lease on the other tower for $500,000 roughly.
Well, again, different proposals. That was the prepayment of a 99-year lease. This is perpetual easement of a lease that maxes out at 50 years and is renewable in 5 years. So different circumstances, but yes, that was a $500,000 prepayment.
Okay. Do you have any comments or thoughts on this, Michael?
Really just as you expressed, Glenn, is there a desire for the town board to explore this further, to enter into any kind of negotiations to modify the template that they have for a lease to address our attorney's concerns? And if there is no interest at this point, that I can convey that to Harmony.
Is there interest in pursuing this at this time?
What I don't quite understand they increase, it says, has increased its offer for a perpetual easement. So what? I don't understand what's in it for us.
We said, no, yeah, oh, right.
Well, so their last offer was 130,000. So
Yeah.
it's another 45,000.
And
Is
this,
that, as I'm reading it, is that pretty correct?
I mean, we currently have a lease with them where they pay $750 a month. The lease renews every 5 years. There's a minimal increase in the rent payment at each renewal. I don't profess to understand the economics of cell towers and leases and how they make money or don't make money. However, this is the offer. It's an upfront cash infusion for the town. And as I spell out, is this something that we believe is worth doing at this point? Do we believe that cell towers will be needed in 18 years, which is the equivalent of what they are paying us? You know, those kind of questions. So I don't have answers. I just want to know if you are interested in pursuing this further, and I think Glenn's suggestion is great. We can then schedule a closed session to go into details, perhaps get an attorney or some other expertise in here on the ins and outs of these kinds of arrangements.
Is there any type of a deadline to get back to them?
No, I mean, you know, they stay in touch with us and, you know, they've been responsive to our request. Well, let's see the templates for the leases. And we've had it by our attorney and we have, as you see, a number of concerns. They stay in touch on a regular basis. We've received calls from other companies seeking similar arrangements, but they look at the lease we have and they all understand that Harmony essentially has the right of first refusal for anything like this. So these other companies have pretty much stepped calls.
I would say let's try to, as long as there's no hurry, I mean, we're not setting a deadline, let's try to get a closed session, not a special meeting.
Mhm.
But put it in next time we have a closed session, put it under that, let's talk about it. And in the meantime, if you try to do any investigation into why, you know, what's in it, something's in it for them.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know what that is.
Well, my
I'm not,
understanding is what's in it for them is they then get to sublease space on the tower. And so they would make money off of other carriers of different sorts, putting an antenna or other equipment on the tower, and they would collect.
there can only be three spots on the tower. So well, I don't know who the three are now, but
Well, there's only one on the tower right now.
so they can sell two more.
Mhm. Okay, is the board wanting to address this more thoroughly in closed session at our next regular town board meeting?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care when we do it.
Well, we didn't kill it, so we will. We will.
I will let them know that we will continue discussions.
So thinking about,
Yeah, okay, thank you, Michael. Moving on, planning and zoning, we have a contract and it looks as though Mr. Price has,
We've made some modifications to the original draft that you saw a few weeks ago. Just want to know if you have any other comments, either the new language or, you know, now you have more time to look at it. Other suggestions of what we can modify. He has not gotten back to us on this latest revision, but we are continuing.
okay. Well, my thought is, and does this incorporate anything from him, any of his?
Yes, it does.
Okay. I guess I would. Are you wanting us to approve this tonight or?
No, not at all. This is still a draft. You know, last time there were some suggestions that, you know, some of the requirements were not necessary, so we've eliminated them. Know if there's any other modifications that you want to make from your end. Otherwise, the attorneys reviewed this. We are in discussions with Mr. Price. So I have no idea where it's going to wind up, but it's ongoing.
So that's where this is right now. And does anyone have any further comments?
the only comment I would have would be on E, because it says reports are due on the first of the month for the preceding month. And if they're due on the first of the month and he mails them, it won't be inclusive of the whole month. So could we give him like till the 5th?
We communicate by email almost exclusive.
Oh, okay. Okay, all right. Yes, I need to come to the next. millennium.
But yes, I mean, we can certainly make it fit. We're just trying to get it in a situation where.
No, that's fine.
Gets to the zoning administrator in time to monitor and give reports to the TPC.
Yeah, that's fine. I wasn't for some reason thinking about you.
Is everyone good with that then?
Yep.
Okay, so I think it's ready to see if price is amenable to it and go from there. Next item is the submission to the Harbor Assistance Program. And you all have hopefully received the information from Cal at the ferry line of what he is proposing. This needs to be an official action by the town board to submit this to the the Wisconsin Department of Transportation. So is there a motion to approve this submission?
I'll make a motion to approve the submission 3-year Harbor Development Statement of Intentions.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. The next two items, I don't believe we have the information yet. So. This is there a motion to postpone these two resolutions until our next.
Resolution 2024-0409A and 2024-0409B. Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is to accept the resignation of Michael Childers from the Funnel Point Harbor Commission. And I think everyone has received his letter of resignation.
I'll make a motion to approve the resignation from Michael Childers with discussion.
Second, great, thanks.
Been seconded, any discussion?
The discussion I was gonna say also was great thanks to Michael for everything he did within the Harbor Commission project that he's been on for a long time. So thank you very much, Michael.
Any other discussion? Okay, moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Michael. The next item on the agenda is the 2024 ferry line tariff. The Harbor Commission did approve a tentative draft. Subsequently, there have been some changes that we've discovered need to be made. And so I'm going to ask that we actually have a special town board meeting this Friday to consider the draft. It needs to go back to the Harbor Commission Friday morning for them. And basically the things that they voted, that they didn't vote on, that we want them to vote on are an addition to the camper tariff. And this is for the larger campers, not the smallest category, but everything above that. And it would be, because we're leaving out the smallest category, and that's at the recommendation of the MIFL staff, due to the fact that they either don't have bathroom in those, or because of how small and tight they are, people don't use them. And so they suggest leaving them off of that surcharge. Leaving them off of that surcharge cuts out a lot of potential payees of that
So
amount.
numbers will be there.
So in order to compensate for that, we are going to propose to the Harbor Commission a $5 each way. So $10 round trip charge for campers. And it's really the campers that start at around the $60 round trip $60 one-way fee. Okay, so this would add another $5 onto their 60. It also, they did not formally vote on the tariffs for food. And cargo kinds of things. So that's going to be incorporated in that. And so is there a motion to defer this until our meeting on Friday?
I'll make a motion that we defer this to the meeting on Friday.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Town Hall Administration. We have to schedule the Board of Review meetings, both the sort of initial formal meeting that should last about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
And then do we have a time yet to do the actual Board of Review?
Yeah, so for the initial one, we were discussing the 24th or the 31st of May
Mhm.
for the two, and he wanted to be at like 4. But he said he's open anytime between 4:30 and 6:30. So we could do like a 5 o'clock meeting on that 24th.
And that's what day of the week is?
Friday,
Friday, the 24th,
and Friday, that's our first.
or Friday, the
And
31st.
that one we kind of have to schedule.
Let's not forget this Memorial Weekend.
Yep.
Oh, that's me.
So anytime after 4, he said,
Yep, you can do 4:30, between 4:30 and 6:30.
and this will be like a 5.
Yeah, he said it's gonna be 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. What do folks think?
What day of the week is that?
That's Friday.
Alex, do you have to be here in person for that? You can be on Zoom.
That one you can be on Zoom.
Okay, 4:30, Friday, 4:30,
And which day did we pick?
May 24th.
Yep.
Good with that? Okay. Do we need a vote, a motion to? No, we don't. Okay,
Did we say 4?
For the
4:30.
For the open book board of review, that one, the town board is not required to attend. It would just be him.
Right.
Mhm.
And he would like to have that on July 30th from 3 to 6.
Okay. We need to have a motion on that.
And then, for the actual board of review, he would like to have it on August 6th from 4 to 6 PM, if that works with the town.
Say that again, August
August 6th,
And that is a
Tuesday,
Tuesday.
4 p.m.
4 to 6.
And we'll close the shop early.
Of course.
Okay.
Does 4 to 6 work, Sam, for you in
Mhm.
August? Okay.
Tuesday.
Hard to say. Hard to say.
Everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, do we need a vote on that?
Nope.
No, okay. So August 6th, 4 to 6 is our board, our full board of review for 2 hours. Okay, moving on, budget summary report. This was through February. Is there a motion to accept the budget summary report?
I will make a motion to accept the budget summary report as presented.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next is the purchase of fireworks for the out of the Chamber of Commerce's designated fund of $21,000. We need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase order for the 4th of July fireworks, amount of $21,000.
I'll second it with discussion.
Moved and seconded, discussion?
So this money sits in the town's account, right?
Mhm.
And so in the budget, it's, 23,671.76. So that just rolls over till next year?
No, there's 23,671.76 in the budget. I take $21,000 out of that to pay for this year's fireworks, and then the chamber would do fundraising to replenish that account. Essentially, that would then be used for the 2025 fireworks.
Right.
Or whatever they try to do.
But my question is,
Delays or whatever. So
my question is, if you take 21,000 and subtract it from the amount that's in the budget, what happens to that excess leftover? Does that
it
just
just rolls over.
rolls over to next
It's the
year?
nature of it.
Right.
Any other discussion? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is the direct sellers ordinance. Michael has put together a pretty comprehensive memo on this. As everyone remembers, during the discussion of the comprehensive plan, we did not want to, if you will, relax or expand the ability of direct sellers on the island. But subsequently, Michael has pointed out that we do have three enterprises that are currently would currently probably be in violation or problematic on that, and that's Dockside Gifts, which is now it is in the commercial district, but it's no longer privately owned. Same with the well, not same, but Campfire Wood Sales, not in the commercial district. And then Island Harvesters Food Wagon is privately owned property. It is not in the commercial district. That side of the street of Main Street is considered residential. The other side of the street is commercial. And so Michael and Ed have looked at this. They have a proposed solution for the Dockside Gifts and the Campfire Wood Sales, which would be to modify the current ordinance, the direct sellers ordinance, to provide the town reserves the right to be able to lease property to direct sellers on property that it owns. So that would take care of the Dockside and the Campfire. Is that correct?
That is one relatively easy solution.
The one for the Harvesters Food Wagons, a little more difficult because it's not on town property and it's also not in the commercial zone. A suggestion that I had made was, well, considering where it is and what it is, which is a parking lot right now, is there a real problem in saying that that will be part of the commercial zone, which is essentially right across the street? That would then enable them to meet the requirements of the direct sellers
You're
ordinance.
talking about St. John's, right?
St. John's, the parking lot, basically. And it is, as Paul pointed out, it is an extensive process to do this. It's at least a 60 to potentially a 90-day process for us to get this done. But seeing as I think everyone that I talked to is in favor of continuing to encourage the food wagon, and that we would be supportive of this. But the first step in this is for, there are a couple different ways that you can go about getting a map change. And one of them is that a resident can petition to make an amendment to the zoning ordinance. The other is that a member of the town board or the town plan commission can propose an amendment. And if that ordinance or that resolution is approved by the governing board, the town board or the town planning commission, it does start the process. And so really this is just asking the town board to move forward on the process to have that parking lot considered to be part of the commercial zone. So I would entertain a motion, and then we can have discussion on the resolution. Resolution 2024-0409C, to basically start the process going on converting that to commercial.
I would make a motion to start the process of resolution number 2024-0409C to start the process for the commercial zone area.
There's the second.
I'll second. Is there any way that, with discussion, is there any way that they could be grandfathered in instead of making that commercial district?
Michael?
I would have to consult an attorney, but my initial impression is no. It's a violation of the zoning ordinance and the direct sellers ordinance, so.
If they were there first, before the direct sellers ordinance, then they would get grandfathered in. That's what grandfather is about.
Well, I think part of the question is also, they are engaged in a commercial enterprise. And to be engaged in a commercial enterprise like that, I think you probably do need to be in the commercial district. So I think we're dealing with kind of two different things. One is the direct sellers ordinance, which is not a part of the zoning ordinance, as I understand it. And that we have, a great deal of latitude on what we can do by ourselves. The commercial, the fact that it's, a commercial enterprise in a residential, that is in the zoning ordinance, and that we would need to make this change. So good idea, Amy.
But they couldn't have like a home business CUP?
I don't think this would qualify as a home business.
Again, my initial interpretation would be the zoning ordinance allows people to sell goods that they produce on their own property. But this is a compilation of sellers who then sell it on somebody else's property. So
Right.
I think it'd be very up to the client.
Right.
So how would like that person that sold owls or blankets or something, or that van in that parking lot
Yeah.
years ago?
Can't do it.
So they can't do that.
Not unless, if it's on private property and it's in the commercial zone. And they have permission from the property owner. Right?
They could do it,
They could.
but not the way they were doing it in the past. They couldn't do it. I mean,
Couldn't just put on the street out of the back seat or out of the trunk of your car.
got it.
So Joni's Beach is not commercial zone, correct? Because it's on the same side of the Pete Bog. And so like when they have their festivals, different people have different things, like even the marathon sells things.
T-shirt.
That's allowed because it's a,
Special event.
Okay,
They get that special event.
as long as it's a
Correct.
Yeah.
special event.
Correct.
And then I keep going back to the time and the place of when this all came about, So the reason that we even came about doing this was because of COVID.
Mhm.
And so we decided in March of COVID that all of us that hadn't been selling our foods, because it's very important people realize that when we're selling it, we're not really making money. We might be making cash flow for our infrastructure on our land to be able to grow food. But the intention was to try to make healthy food available when Ashland was on fire with COVID. So then we had all these meetings and everything, and then we were misinformed by the zoning person. And I feel like the fact that we're not being able to be grandfathered in or anything like that, it's really kind of disturbing because we trusted that the information we were being told was true. We were all there. We talked about this specifically. We're gonna do it. The church agreed. The church itself has a food committee that's been very supportive, and it was more like a community coming together, trying to make sure people wouldn't get sick out here and all of that. And yes, we've been doing it, and yes, fortunately, we don't have those same concerns. But it's hard for me because I'm like, okay, we were already told yes, we were already told it's gonna be okay. And we really, as a board, didn't go through a way of changing that. And now all of a sudden it is changed. And yes, I'm grateful that we do have ways that we might be able to make this. But it also makes me like, are people going to trust what they're told they can do? And then in 3 or 4 years, it goes away, and now you've got to change everything. And I'm not sounding off here. I'm just actually asking legitimate questions, I feel like. Does anybody have any comments?
No, other than, you know, I think the town board is very supportive of what you're
Yes,
doing.
I do believe that,
You
yeah.
know, I think the town's very supportive of what you're doing.
I believe that also,
And we just have to work through this
the process.
process.
Okay.
And we're gonna work through it as quickly and expeditiously as possible. Charlie, you have
I
a
just
question?
walked into Ed's, the big map by Ed's desk back there. Are you sure that's not commercial on that one? It looks red to me where the parking lot across from St. John's is on the map.
I think there is a strip, a small strip that
It
is,
looks red to me. I'm just trying to save people aggravation and time because I recall that as being commercial.
And money.
And money. yeah, okay, well,
Sorry if I.
no, thank
Speaking out
you,
of turn.
thank you, Charlie, we
It
will.
looks red to me, which is C1, so.
We will reconfirm that. But assuming that what we've been told currently by the zoning administrator and the town administrator is that it is not in the commercial district. I would say if we can approve this resolution, get the process going. If it turns out tomorrow that it is realized that it's in the commercial district, obviously this then becomes a moot point.
Yeah.
Okay. So is there any other discussion?
I do want to say that if it sounded like I was offending the board or anyone in the room, I wasn't doing that. I was just putting some backstory in. So thank you.
I don't think anyone took offense, but
Okay.
thank you. Okay, there has been a motion and a second. Any further discussion on ordinance of resolution 2024-0409C? Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I will start this signature round. The next item on the agenda are vouchers, and we have two. One is the town vouchers and the second are the Harbor Commission vouchers.
I will make a motion to approve the town voucher in the amount of $41,233. And I would make a motion to approve the Harbor Commission voucher in the amount of $89,560.32.
Okay.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Next item is approval of the minutes from the regular town board meeting of March 26th, 2024.
I'll make a motion that we approve regular town board meetings from March 26, 2024, as amended at 3/25/24. Or no, I'm sorry, March 26, 2024, as is.
Moved and seconded. I have just one amendment, and I was asked by John Carlson. Under item public comment B, where it says John Carlson commented on the draft version of ordinance 2024-0326A, amending the comprehensive plan. His comment was actually on the draft version of the UDC inspector contract. So if we could just make that change, and also where Paul Brummer stated that back in the day, inspector, I think it's Dan Curran, C-U-R-R-A-N.
Yeah. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Yeah, but it's C-U.
Yeah.
Okay, so just with those two changes, if that's amenable to people making the motion and second,
Yes.
Yes.
okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Next item, Police Department, Resolution 2024-0409D, to amend the 2024 fee schedule to incorporate police video redaction. And that is discussed in Michael's town board meeting memo. And this is new state law, allows the town to charge for time spent redacting the video to obscure children and other innocent bystanders.
I will make a motion to approve amending resolution 2023-1212C.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
Who pays this? Who do they bill?
If,
Someone
if
asking.
you,
for it.
if you want it, if an attorney wants it and they gotta redact it, then who pays for it? They do.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Moving on, public comment B, Paul?
Okay, at Tara. Regarding gardens going over here, if you're talking only a certain size, $60 or so size. Suggest instead, charging any RV that has a holding tank, because if they have a holding tank, they're gonna use the facility. If it's just a half ton or a 3/4 ton van, all they have is sleeping quarters, maybe a little kitchen, and obviously they're not gonna use the RV dump station, they don't have a holding tank. But if they got a holding tank, I would think if someone's out there with their magic walker, seeing how long the RV is, they should be able to tell pretty quick. If it says RV, if it says waste on the side, if they have a dump hose, it's not rocket science, we're not splitting the atom. And regarding to the zoning change, the dimension, the district change, it's not cheap. You have to pay for a public hearing. And I was just wondering who's gonna pay for this? Are you gonna pass the hat on the town board members? Everybody's gonna kick in $100, what? Because I don't know if that should be on the taxpayers. And if it's only for one direct seller, you might want to check other people that's already in the C1 zone, because maybe they can let you stay at their place after hours and sell your canned goods and stuff, and it won't cost you anything. It might not cost the taxpayer anything either, because you don't have to go through a whole district change. Just something I'm throwing out.
Thank you, Paul. Any other public comment? Okay. Anything under liquor and operators licenses? Lawsuits and legal?
Well, it's
Getting soon though. I suppose. New agenda items for future meetings.
You know, and I don't care if we do it or not, but I don't know if it was just you and I who had the email. When people are on Zoom and you said if they don't use their full name and their picture, then we shouldn't include them. But in that one meeting we had, there were people who only used, and they didn't have their picture, they only used one name. And then some people didn't have their picture and use their full name. So in fairness to Alex, to decide what should I say? Should I say they're present on Zoom or not? Do we need a policy for that, or? She should have something so she knows what to do.
Well, like Molly O'Brien popped in
Yeah,
tonight, but I'm not gonna write because she was here for 5 minutes.
well, but that's my point. That's, that one night it just said Carol.
Right, and it was, that's the one I missed.
But-
I think that it was Carol.
I think I know who it was.
Yeah. it
But
was.
according to Glenn, they have to have their full name and their picture. So where do you draw the line?
You do have, the disclaimer says that you have access to their email. If you don't know who they are, couldn't you send them an email?
I can figure out. who it is. I don't mind figuring out who it is and including them on there. I don't think everyone has to show their face to be considered present.
Should we just leave it as is? I don't care.
Well, we can't make that decision right now.
Well, I'm just
but,
talking about future.
Yeah, let's put that on an agenda item to talk about. And Michael has indicated a number of items in his town board meeting memo under future agenda items. One thing one is to appoint a harbor commission.
will also be TPC appointments at once in the meeting as well.
Right, thank you. Okay, anybody have any other agenda items?
Post.
I can't post.
Post and hire a finance all.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Anything else? Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Don't forget to sign these purchase orders.
I was gonna say.